Hello, everyone. This is the most intelligent and magnificent bird, Beak, speaking to you today. And in today's video, not only am I going to go over the calendar in this calendar review, I'm also going to go over my spoiler review of The Walking Dead Season 11, Episode 24, Rest in Peace, the series finale, the last episode ever. I'm going to go over that, and I'm going to tell you my thoughts on it, and I'm going to tell you whether if I thought it was a satisfying ending to the series. Some of you might already know my thoughts on it, but for those that don't, I won't spoil anything for those that don't want to know my thoughts on the last episode ever. And before we get started, I hope all of you are doing good and staying safe out there. I'm doing alright. And I'm doing pretty good, and I'm staying safe for the most part. After this video, I was planning on taking the rest of the week off. That was until this weekend, they announced a gold rush. So I do plan on doing a gold rush pull video sometime this week. Probably within the next day or so. So expect that pretty soon after this video. And I don't think we should waste any more time. I think we should go ahead and jump into this calendar review. Shall we? Alright. First up on the agenda is a faction level up tournament that will be starting on Monday, November 21st, and that's going to be until Thursday, November 24th. And I'm sorry if you hear that, if you just heard that just now, that's Coco right beside me, so that's what that is, in case you hear it again. Okay, now we can continue. Next up is a faction raid tournament, and that's going to be starting on Monday, November 21st. And that's going to be until Wednesday, November 23rd. Then we have a solo survival road tournament that's going to be starting on Wednesday, November 23rd. And that's going to be until Friday, November 25th. Then we will be having a solo level up tournament that's going to be starting on Thursday, November 24th, and that's going to be until okay, I was looking ahead, sorry about that. That solo level up tournament will be until Sunday, November 27th. Then we have the Mythic Battle Pass Season 17 that is going to be coming to an end next Monday, November 28th. Then we have the Leaf Mania event that's also going to be coming to an end this coming up Wednesday, November 23rd. Then we have the Pumpkin Prowl event that's still going to be continuing until December 14th. And to close out the week, we have the Gold Rush event, which will be starting on Monday, November 21st. And that's going to be until December 5th. But like I said, I'm going to have a Gold Rush pulls video coming out within the next day or so. So that's going to be this week. And, yeah, I don't think I have much else left to say other than for those that are going to be celebrating Thanksgiving this coming up week and having family gatherings this week for Thanksgiving. I want to wish every single one of you a happy Thanksgiving, a good one, and a safe Thanksgiving as well. And I will be getting to the spoiler review momentarily. Before I get to that, I just want to thank each and every one of you for stopping by and just coming on in here, and I do thank you for your continued support. And for those that want to hear my spoiler review, my thoughts on the series finale, if I thought it was a good conclusion, if I thought it was a bad conclusion, or what, I didn't want to leave any, I didn't want to let y'all know until I actually get into it. And my thoughts on all of that is coming up shortly. Until next time, bye guys. Hello everyone, and I'm back for my spoiler review of The Walking Dead Season 11, Episode 24, Series Finale. And if there's anyone that's still here that doesn't want to watch my spoiler review, and if you're maybe planning on watching this episode, I would highly recommend clicking off the video. And my thoughts, did I think this episode, this series finale, did I think it was satisfying? Honestly, yes. I thought it was very satisfying. Do I wish we were getting another season? I do wish we were getting another season. But you know what? For what we got tonight, I really loved it. I loved it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. And I don't really have a whole lot of negatives, so I think we should go ahead and get into the spoiler review in 3, 2, 1. Alright, here we go. So the episode starts with Daryl carrying Judith to the hospital. We get it, we start the episode from Judith's point of view. Her vision is all disoriented from, where she got shot in the last episode. And he gets her to a gurney. 3 Commonwealth soldiers come in through one part of the hospital. They knock Daryl out and give him one heck of a black eye. It's like, dang. I know that they applied the makeup on to make it look, but it looks pretty bad. And Judith, even though she's been shot, she's able to get up, and she notices that the doors are open, that Daryl just came rushing in. So she has the will enough to get up and actually try her best to guard the doors, because the walkers are also, in the Commonwealth already at this point. And let's get to Maggie, Negan, Carol, and everybody in the lower wards that are fighting the Horde. Okay, so let's get to this part. So, pretty much this results in both Jules and Luke getting bitten. Jules actually gets devoured by the walkers, and Luke gets bit in the leg. So, Yumiko, Magna, Kelly, and Connie have to take Luke to the hospital because he also got bit in the process, and they cut his leg off, but Luke ends up dying as well because of the shock and too much blood loss. So yeah, he ends up biting the dust, as well as Jules. So, yeah, we have Judith who's shot, Daryl got knocked out, Jules got killed, Luke got killed, 2 deaths on top of that, all in the first 5 to 10 minutes. Are there a whole lot more deaths to come? Well, let's get into it and find out. So next, Rosita had a close call with her and her little girl Coco. Gabriel, Eugene, and Rosita are, they rescue Coco and this other little baby from this children's home, and they all end up in an ambulance hiding from the walkers. And Eugene gets on to this pipe and he climbs into this window first, followed by Gabriel. Then Rosita is climbing with Coco. She's got the little baby wrapped up in this thing that she has around her body. That way she's doesn't have to hold her, but she's holding her though. But anyway, Rosita's climbing with Coco. Rosita actually falls into the group of walkers, but she gets up real close and she fights her way back up to the ambulance. And the second try, she's able to meet up with Gabriel and Eugene. Coco is fine, but Rosita didn't get so lucky. She actually got bit on the shoulder during that encounter, and Rosita knows her time is up. And she only tells Eugene for the moment. So, yeah, we're getting a third death. Not right away, but it's gonna happen. So, yeah, Rosita was unfortunately unable to avoid getting bit. But, yeah, Coco is fine, like I said. And the next part, all of these little parts might be out of order, but this review doesn't do the last episode justice. I'm just going to say that for now, definitely. So Mercer, he gets free. Princess and his sister Max free him from prison. And so they come up with a plan to get Judith and Daryl and the whole group into the estates where all of the Commonwealth soldiers are pretty much at, with Pamela and all of her rich friends. And, so Mercer is able to get some of his loyal soldiers to get him and get everybody else into the estates, because apparently, Pamela's so dumb that if she was smart, she wouldn't have created 2 ways out of the estate. She would have only created 1 way to get in and to get out. So Mercer is pretty easily able to sneak everybody inside the back door, back another gate into the estates without Pamela and them knowing until a little bit later on. So they get to a safe house where Tommy, Yumiko's brother, who's a doctor, can patch up Judith. And earlier in the episode, Daryl says, let me give Judith some of my blood. And, he asks Carol if you know how to do this. And she says yes, but yours and her blood, they have to match. And apparently Daryl somehow knows that his blood type will work with anybody, because he said that his brother Merle used to make him sell his blood for money when they were kids. At least when Daryl was a kid. Not sure what his blood type is. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know how any of that specifically works, but whatever. Daryl, he gives Judith some of his blood to her, and Tommy says, when they get there, he says it's good that, that you gave her blood. And, he's gonna operate on Judith to fix her up. And, of course, he's successful. Judith is fine. Like I pretty much predicted that she was gonna be fine. Despite her getting shot I think she got shot in the shoulder because Judith has a brown jacket on, and I didn't really see, blood on her, an open area on her chest or anything like that. Must have been in the shoulder. So, yeah, I'm assuming it was the shoulder she got. It was, because later we see a big spot of blood on her upper shoulder there. So, yeah, like I predicted, Judith is fine. And, of course, the citizens that all got left to fend for themselves with all of those walkers, some of them were trying to climb the gates of the estates, and of course on Pamela's orders, the Commonwealth soldiers have to, they shoot anybody that's trying to climb the gates. Of course that's on Pamela's orders. So we get to a point where Mercer and the Commonwealth soldiers, his Commonwealth soldiers surround Pamela Milton, Vickers, and the Commonwealth soldiers that are already at the estates. And, the people were outside shaking the gates, pleading with Pamela Milton to let them in, and the walkers are coming pretty closely behind them. And Daryl, he pretty much says that you tried to make this place like the old world, and he says that's your biggest problem. And that pretty much easily gets Vickers and the Commonwealth soldiers that were protecting Pamela, that gets all of them to easily turn on Pamela Milton, and Pamela Milton gets arrested. Yet again, I got that prediction right. That wasn't my only prediction, but that was one of my three predictions as to what I thought was going to happen with Pamela Milton. So yeah, they easily turn on Pamela Milton just like that, and they arrest her because Vickers pretty much says, "We'll follow your command, General Michael Mercer." So now they're listening to Michael Mercer instead of Pamela Milton. Well, Pamela, all I can say, it's probably, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, she's gonna have to stay the rest of her life locked up. It's probably gonna be a whole lot worse than them just simply killing her right then and there, because she's not gonna get the luxury lifestyle that she was used to as the governor. So these walkers, they eventually let the people in, and they close the gates behind them. And, Pamela's just standing there with her being cuffed, and she sees Walker Lance Hornsby. So yeah, Lance Hornsby has made his way back to the Commonwealth for the last time, but as a walker. And, you could tell because that arrow's still stuck in his neck from when Carol shot him. And she just, Pamela knows she's lost everything officially, that her own Commonwealth soldiers have turned on her. So she was complimenting letting Walker Lance Hornsby just bite her. And it's an iconic shot to Carol in the comics, who lets a walker bite her neck, and she's got her head leaned back, leaning toward Lance. She's gonna let him bite her in the neck and just end her life. But Maggie from a distance sees that, and she shoots Lance. And, she's probably thinking, no, we're not going to let Pamela take the easy way out. No, she's going to sit in jail for the rest of her life. So that's pretty much why she did that. She didn't have to do that, but they're pretty much all on the same page. Nah, Pamela's not getting out that easy. So, yep, they pretty much proceed to take Pamela to jail, and we don't really see her again until, like, one more time. The next part is the estates meet an explosive end. So, their plan is to lure all of the walkers that are there at the Commonwealth to the estates, so they get all of these barrels of fuel and place them around, and they are pouring gasoline through the sewers that are leading to the estates. And they also have these speakers playing this pretty good song, Cult of Personality. Man, if y'all haven't heard that song, I recommend checking that song out. Ooh, that song is so good. As soon as they started playing that one song, I was like, oh yeah, they finally got a good song in there. So they're playing that music to lure those walkers in there. Of course, they have this record player in Pamela's house, of all places, and they got the whole song playing, and when the song ends, these two pieces of metal connect with each other, and it causes all of the barrels of fuel and gasoline to go to the estates, and it just all blows up. Not the Commonwealth, but where all the rich people lived. So the estates are no more, and I just thought that was a pretty good sequence. So after all of that, Daryl and Carol go to see Pamela Milton one last time, because this is the last time that we're going to see her. She's in her jail cell, and Pamela's trying to say that y'all don't know what it means to make tough decisions, to do the ugly work. And Carol's like, yeah, we've already had to make an ugly choice. And she says, Pamela says to Carol, you have to decide who's going to get the big, nice house. And as Carol's walking out, she says, we don't have to worry about who's getting your house, because her house is no longer standing. All of the estates is just up in smoke and flames at this point. I thought that was a great end to that part. So the next part is they're all at this, I don't know whose house specifically, but they're all still at the Commonwealth. It looks like they're having a Thanksgiving dinner based off all of the food that's presented on this big nice table, and they're all just a smiling, and just, they're one big happy family. And there was an answer to something I wanted to know, and we got that answer. Dog is alive and well, because Judith has a piece of food. She takes this piece of food off her plate, and the camera zooms to reveal that Dog is alive as he goes to get the piece of food. I don't know where Dog was. I guess he was just chilling while all this chaos was happening. I don't know, but he's alive and fine, and I'm not gonna lie, I was super happy to find out that Dog was alive, because I'm a dog person. I obviously have one dog left, and that moment, just that confirmation of knowing that nothing bad happened to him, that really warmed my heart. It really did. It was nice to know that confirmation. And they're all just having, I guess, Thanksgiving dinner, and they're just all smiling and just having a good time. And Rosita, she's still trying to put on a front, because, she knows she's about to bite the dust at any moment. And at this point, she obviously hasn't told anybody except for Eugene. Eugene and her are the only ones that know. And Gabriel goes up to her and asks her, is everything alright? And she whispers to him that, yeah, I got bit. And then you can just see the sudden change in his face as he knows that what's about to happen. So Rosita, Coco, and Gabriel all go to this one bedroom to spend their last moments all together, all three of them together. As at this point, she's let everybody know at this point, because Carol comes to see her for one last time, Daryl comes to see her for one last time, and they just have a nice little moment together. And Eugene, after Gabriel and Coco see her for the last time, Eugene comes in there because she wants Eugene to be the last person that she has on her eyes, and she's just smiling back at Eugene. Takes a seat, and she's just smiling back at Eugene as she just quietly passes away. And so the next scene is, we jump to about a year later from this, and some of them are living at the Commonwealth. Some of them are living at Alexandria. Some of them are living at Hilltop. So it's a year later. Eugene and Max have a kid of their own. That was a nice, heartwarming reveal. He's now got a kid of his own. And as to who's the new governor of the Commonwealth, Ezekiel is the new governor of the Commonwealth, and Mercer is the lieutenant governor. So he's got a pretty high position in the Commonwealth now, even higher than he did, previously. I'll be honest, I did not expect Ezekiel to be the new governor of the Commonwealth. I definitely didn't see that coming. I thought maybe Max might have been the new governor, but no, Ezekiel, he now runs the Commonwealth right beside his right-hand man, Mercer, who's got a higher position of power than he previously did. And Carol now pretty much is, she's at the Commonwealth. The old position that Lance Hornsby held, I think he was like the director's activity or whatever, Carol now holds that position, and Carol no longer has the long hair. She now has the short hair that her actress actually walks around with. So they decided to have her ditch the wig for this final part. And Daryl, he decides to go off and leave all of them, obviously, to set up his spinoff. And you know what I'm wondering is if they had to reshoot the ending due to Carol not being able to be in that one spinoff with Daryl, they would have had to reshot that, because there's a part before Daryl goes off, alone, where Daryl and Carol are sitting lakeside, I'm assuming at the Commonwealth. He says to her, I wish you were coming with me. And she gets emotional, and he says that this isn't going to be the last time we're going to see each other. And she starts crying a little bit, and she says, I'm allowed to get a little upset. Oh man, I loved the finale. I loved it. And so that's what I'm wondering. They probably had to reshoot that, I'm assuming, because I'm sure that wasn't originally going to be in the episode where Carol says, I'm gonna miss you, and Daryl says, I wish you could come with me. That definitely was reshot. I mean, I'm assuming it was, because it was originally going to be a Daryl and Carol spinoff. And Maggie, she pretty much says that, she says to Negan that, look, we need to talk. I'm internally grateful that you saved my son. I understand that you're trying to be a better person, but she says, I can't forgive you. She says, I still can't forgive you, but at least she's acknowledging that Negan is trying to be a better person. In my books, Negan has done more than enough to be trying. He's been redeemed for like 2-3 years at this point, in my opinion, but at least she's being honest. She says, every time I see you, I can see Glenn just calling for my help. I can see you beating him down and you're mocking me. But she says, I know that... She says, I can see that you're trying, but I can't forgive you. But, she says, me and you don't have problems, but I just simply can't forgive you. But at least she's acknowledging that he's trying to be a better person. And so, yeah. And this part kind of... Before I talk about this next part, I kept seeing that people were saying that, oh, Rick Grimes is going to be in the final episode. Oh, man, before I watched this episode, I was like, watch these people. They are going to get their hopes up, and he's not even going to show up. I honestly didn't expect that, because I didn't think it would make any sense how they would fit him into the final episode. But I gotta give these people their credit. They were right, because both Rick and Michonne show up at the end. Not anywhere near the communities, but Rick, he shows up in this leather jacket that's got these 3 circles on it. I'm assuming that's the CRM. That's gotta be, because he's got this leather jacket on. And Michonne, I'm not sure exactly where their spinoff is going to be taking place, but yeah, Rick shows up and he ends up getting caught. He ran away from wherever he was, and he was pretty close to Alexandria, but this CRM helicopter caught him. He was so close to getting home, and clearly he has his memory intact, because he was trying his damnedest to get back home to Judith, RJ, and everybody else. And obviously Michonne, she's got this new get-up on, and she's got like this helmet on with, I don't know where she got all this stuff at. I'm not sure where she's at. Obviously, she's trying to find Rick, and Rick nearly got home, and he got caught from the CRM helicopter, and that's pretty much how it ends. And I gotta tell you, I was pleasantly surprised by Rick and Michonne showing up there at the end of it. Man, I had low expectations set for a return of Rick in the main show. The return wasn't that long, but these people were right. They were hoping for it, and man, it made that, just seeing Rick and Michonne just for that short little moment, it made the episode just that little bit better. I love the episode. Is it the best episode ever? No, it's not the best episode ever, but compared to the ending that the comics ended up with, it's a whole lot better than the comic ending. That's for sure. I haven't read the comics, but I've known about that particular ending in the comics. For those that don't know, I'm just going to go ahead and pretty much give away that ending. So that ending in the comics results in Sebastian Milton killing Rick Grimes. while he's sleeping. That's how that ended. That was a serious, major slap in the face of the Walking Dead fans, and we don't get nothing like that. Thank gosh we didn't get nothing like that in The Walking Dead, in the show at least. This ending in the show is 1,000 times better than the comic ending. Like I said, it's not the best ending, but it's a pretty good, feel-good ending for this show. And I don't really have a whole lot of negatives other than maybe the lack of deaths with our characters, but other than that, I have pretty much nothing but positives. I highly recommend checking this episode out if you're a fan of The Walking Dead. I highly recommend catching back up and just watching the end of this series. I'm sure it's not the ending they had originally planned for the show, but for all of the crap that's happened, for them to have to change their plans due to certain things out of their control, I thought they did a damn good job. I honestly did. And yeah, season 11 is definitely in my top 5 favorite seasons of The Walking Dead, without a doubt. It was, oh man, I think I want to watch the episode again. I want to watch the whole season again. Oh, definitely. And I'm even more excited for these spin-offs, for sure. I just thought it was so good. I recommend checking this episode out. My review didn't do it justice enough. I know I forgot a couple of things, but this episode might have been the longest episode out of all of them. I think so. It was 1 hour and 30 minutes. Yeah, so a pretty extended episode for the most part. And I love me some Daryl Dixon, but after seeing Rick and Michonne for just that little bit, I think I'm more excited for their spinoff. I'm still excited for Daryl's spinoff and seeing what he's gonna do, and I'm excited for the Maggie and Negan spinoff. But the number one most anticipated spinoff for me is Rick and Michonne, definitely, because it's been a while, especially since we've seen Rick, and you know, I love the finale. I don't think I have much more else to say other than that. And like I said, I'm going to be doing a Gold Rush pull video pretty shortly, within the next day or so after this. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say. I want to thank each and every one of you for stopping by and for your continued support. Or if you're new, welcome in for the first time. All of you are very awesome, and I thank you again. And don't forget to hit the bell and switch on all notifications so you know the second I upload to YouTube. I am Buck Beak, and I'm gonna go fly away back to my nest. Until next time, bye guys.